in Washington now who are blocking the people's access to the voting booth, and they want to use Dr. King conveniently. They're the biggest hypocrites on the planet.
I remember when I lost my mind.
So, I guess when Donald Trump told Don Lemon that he was the dumbest person on television, he took it as a challenge. Jesus. Is this going to be a good one? Oh, I can't wait to do this. So, Don Lemon went on a show on the network he works for. Sure. Because, there's not enough Don Lemon on CNN, so he went on a show on CNN. Whatever. And he's disappointed in the filibuster. He's disappointed in people losing their rights. Allegedly, he's upset with the filibuster. Go ahead.
In Washington now, who are blocking the people's access to the voting booth, and they want to use Dr. King conveniently. They're the biggest hypocrites on the planet. Because if Sinema and Manchin really want to honor the legacy of Dr. King and all of the people who fought for civil rights and voting rights in this country, what they would do is do a carve-out for voting rights with the filibuster. That's what they would do. But for some reason, they are mired in tradition, and they are stuck with these rules that are backwards. And as the former president said at John Lewis's memorial service, these are relics of Jim Crow. The filibuster has been used to block civil rights legislation forever. And so we need to stop that. We evolved. Just because there is a rule doesn't mean that rule can't change. The Constitution is amended. So it's time to amend the rules and fight and protect the most sacred right that we have as Americans, and that is the right to vote.
Democrats are going to force them to, it seems, vote on that rule change. And as of now, they've said, nope, we're not going to do it. Does it mean anything to you that they will have to be on the record?
Yes,
as saying
it does.
That?
It does. And I have the quote. I read this last night on my show, and it's a quote from Dr. King from Birmingham jail, and it's from 1963, and it could be today. And he says, I have almost reached the regrettable conclusion that the Negro's great stumbling block in the stride to freedom is not toward freedom is not the white Citizens Council or the Ku Klux Klanner, but the white moderate who is more devoted to order, than to justice, who prefers a negative peace, which is the absence of tension, to a positive peace, which is the presence of justice, who constantly says, I agree with you in the goal that you seek, but I cannot agree with your methods or direct action, who paternalistically believes that he can set the timetable for another man's freedom, who lives by a mythical concept of time, and who constantly advises a Negro to wait for a more convenient season. That sounds like the moderates.
It's interesting when people like Don, turn the gay up, to be like, hey, remember guys, I'm gay, and they talk like this. They turn it up when they're not like, oh, I'm a big study businessman, and I just like he does on his show, which is fine. It's fine. But you'd think that somebody like Don, who holds those opinions, that he would feel a certain way about the vaccine mandates and whatnot, but he doesn't. And I'm going to play a little short clip here, and then explain it. Go ahead.
In Washington now, who are blocking the people's access to the voting booth, and they want to use Dr. King conveniently. They're the biggest hypocrites on the planet. Because if Sinema and Manchin really want to honor the legacy of Dr. King and all of the people who fought for civil rights and voting rights in this country, what they would do is do a carve-out.
Excuse me? Hypocrites? Biggest hypocrites? That's really rich coming from a guy who said things like the unvaccinated should probably not be allowed to go to, grocery stores, or who in the exact same interview, I shit you not, it's the exact same interview, he said this.
Have to start doing things for the greater good of society, and not for idiots who think that they can do their own research or that they are above the law and they can break the rules. Australia, Novak Djokovic, Australia said, no. We're going to look at the greater good of everyone in our society, and you're not part of that.
What a fucking idiot. Donald Trump was right. Donald Trump called him the dumbest person on television, and he's right. Because only the dumbest person on television in the same interview would say those two things. This guy didn't even wait to say something like that on his own show later and hope that people didn't see the first thing. In the exact same interview. See how glowingly he's talking about Australia? Like, Australia? Like he got super hard right there? Like he saw a guy coming out of the shower or something? Crazy. Australia, where they're imprisoning their citizens and stuff. And, you're not allowed to cross the yellow line without a mask. And we're going to mask your kids. And then the kangaroos are going to come. They're going to eat your kids if you don't get the vaccine. When getting people to take the vaccine is like getting the sheep, into the cage.
We've got one more state to get through that gate. As it's a bit like, getting the sheep through the gate, into the run, getting the sheep through the gate, into the run, getting the sheep through the gate, into the run, getting the sheep through the gate, into the run.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That Don Lemon is this much of a fucking idiot. My favorite part of it is when he says, people who think they can do their own research. As opposed to what? Just trusting you? Trusting CNN, whose ratings are down 90%? Which means you're literally left with the airports? Wow. These idiots that think they can do their own research. I'm sorry, but it's not difficult to type in CDC or NIH and go to their website. Or is this like when your buddy Chris Cuomo, Mr. Fake COVID guy, talked about the WikiLeaks drop and said that it was it's illegal for members of the public to have these documents, so it's different for the media. So, make sure you get all your information from us on this, as we pretend like Hillary Clinton's not a giant criminal.
Also interesting is, remember, it's illegal to possess these stolen documents. It's different for the media. So everything you learn about this, you're learning from us. And
unfucking believable. Do you people actually believe this? It's like, oh my God, you do your own research? What are you, a conspiracy theorist? You don't just take Don Lemon's word for it? God. Oh my God. Why? Why would you do this to us? God, you took Bob Saget from us, and you, instead of Don Lemon. Unreal. I'm so upset that we're stuck with the people we're stuck with, and that people who never bothered anyone, all they ever did was entertain, are being taken away. Don fucking these idiots do their own research. Djokovic? You see what he said? He's Australian Djokovic. I don't know if he was getting hard for thinking about Australia or thinking about Djokovic, because Djokovic is in some good shape. Oh, jeez. It's amazing talking about Bob Saget, because the word Saget rhymes with a word I would like to use to describe Don Lemon. Oh, I'm getting canceled. Oh, I didn't say it. It's a fun word, though. It's a fun word. It starts with an F and rhymes with Saget. And it's like this. It's like if you put the letter S in front of Hitman, you have my exact opinion of Bret Hart. That was a great promo. If you put the letter F instead of S in Saget, you have my exact opinion of Don Lemon. I hate him. If you like Don Lemon, you're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. You are. You're a fucking idiot. God, you people. Why? Is it because he's gay? It's because he's gay and black? Is that why he gets away with this? Is that why? Because apparently he likes sticking his hand in his pants and then touching his balls, which are not trimmed by Manscaped, not a sponsor, should be. And then putting it under the noses of men and being like, "Ooh, you like that? You like that?" That's a real thing. That's a real thing. You think it sounds made up, but it's a real thing. Don Lemon likes to sexually assault other men because he's a Saget. Oh, I can't do this to the good name of Bob Saget. I'm gonna end this. I wanted to end my last video appropriately, and I'm not gonna dedicate any more of this video to terrible men. I'm gonna dedicate the last bit of this video to the great Bob Saget, because Full House was one of like 3 shows I watched as a kid that were on TV that wasn't wrestling.
Gay!
There was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Full House, Dawson's Creek.
Gay!
Stop it. Because Full House and Dawson's Creek were the shows I watched with my mother.
Gay!
And I really liked Bob Saget. I remember when I first saw his comedy, it was like shocking. Because he was foul-mouthed. And I knew him as, America's Funniest Home Videos and America's Dad. Not a guy who told jokes about gaping pussies. Or gaping assholes like Don Lemon's. Which probably this fucking... I said I was done. But man, were there 2 better theme songs than America's Funniest Home Videos? America, America, this is you. Dun, 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 dun. And the Full House one was great too. But Bob, this is you. Like, subscribe. Peace out.
You miss your old familiar friends, but